You are now entering the Sex Positive Podcast. Today is June the 19th, which is a Friday, and you know what? It is a beautiful day outside. I ended up going to my favorite coffee shop. They roast their coffee. This is like the best place ever. If you want to find like a really cool place that you can just like enjoy your friends or your family with, find a coffee roaster and then introduce yourself to the guy who actually roasts the coffee. Because that guy's got more passion and love for what he does than probably 10 times out of everybody you would ever meet. I was watching a video the other night on Whiskey Barrel, I think it was called Whiskey Barrel Coffee. It's out of Denver, Colorado. It's a little town northeast of Denver. And just the passion in this guy's heart about what he does with coffee. Where he's roasting different types of beans, casking them in bourbon barrels. And, it's a very high quality product that many people try to find, and it's very difficult to get. But this he's from another country. I think he's Argentinian or something. His just passion was just exuding from himself about his work and what he does and how he, barrels the coffee and everything. And it was really interesting. It really showed me, what are you doing on a daily basis? How are you loving others and what you're doing or loving yourself? So if you wake up every single day and you're like, fuck, I cannot stand what the hell that I'm doing. Why continue what you're doing? A girl on the internet's, put it out, I really want to go to Europe and I don't have the money to do it. Well, I was like, hey, put out an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter or set up a PayPal account. A ticket only costs $1,500 to Europe. Get a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, set it up, start a really crappy band, get an old guitar, and play shows. Do what you love because you love it. You don't gotta, keep doing what you're doing. She's going on and on and on about, how college costs a lot and things like that. And I'm like, well, there's no real purpose in going to college if you're not going to do what you love and you don't have a passion for what you're doing. I'm 30 years old and I'm going to college right now because I want to advance myself and get my sociology and anthropology degree. And that takes some years. That's about 12 years from now that I'll actually be a doctor of anthropology. Will I get there? I don't know. Do I want to? Be awesome. But my love right now is to gain education and to, go to school and not have to be deployed and be away from people. One of the stories people don't hear about people who deploy is the fact that 99.9% of all the relationships they have fail. That's a horrible and disturbing thing that we shouldn't allow to happen. And in our love for things, you may want to introduce yourself to more anti-war people who are against war and find out why. And that will open up your heart to love in a new way, because that's a really challenging topic. So, this is your feedback. Feedback from the Twitters. A girl named Rachelle. And this is her comments. I think relationships and love are above all based on decisions rather than emotions. Through emotion and attraction definitely play a part, the things I look for in a partner are respectfulness, strength, physical and emotional, intelligence, and a small degree of selfishness. Thinks of family but isn't a complete pushover, and shared interests, basically compatibility. I married my best friend. I tell singles looking for someone to be open to relationships with the people around them and not to expect perfection, but also to just settle with someone they don't really want to be with. Love is a decision, but it's a decision you have to want to make in order for it to work. That was from Rachelle, and you guys can follow her Let me look this up. I have like 1,000 different emails. I sometimes have no clue which one's which. You can follow Rachelle at RCARMSTEAD. That's at RCARMSTEAD. She is a writer and writes some different types of music. I don't think she sings. But the music from the girl that I heard that was singing it was pretty epic. It was more along the lines of classical, theatrical type of singing. I don't know how to describe it exactly. But it was pretty awesome and really amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always looking for new different types of companies, people who are engaging and entrepreneurial and that have just an audacity to kick ass. And I found some ladies, I don't remember their first names, but they have a company called Loveibility. And what they're doing is they are putting out female-friendly condoms in packaging that's pleasing to a woman, that is not as industrial and shitty looking like all of the men's condoms that are out there. Because to be honest, they look really bad. It just looks horrible. It takes the love out of it. It takes the joy and the friendliness of sharing a relationship with someone, even if that's someone that you've been with for your entire life. Whipping out a pack of Trojans, it's just industrial and looks like you're throwing someone on a meat slab. I mean, it's wrong. It's not, it shouldn't be like that. So Loveibility, you could check out their website. I don't know if it's 100% out to market yet. They might be sending out their products. I know they still have their Indiegogo up and they've met most of their goals. It's pretty cool, and I really like the passion that they have for it. You could tell that they want to have something fun and available for people that, don't want industrial condoms, and I think it's pretty epic. If you guys haven't noticed, I've changed the podcast to the Sex Positive Podcast. I tried it out. I was hoping I would get more people with a name like Sex Positive Christian. Didn't really work, and I agree, because Christians are shitty. I really don't like other Christians. They're full of shit most of the time. They're not honest. They're always condemning you, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was listening to Drunk Ex-Pastors, and those guys were talking about their name and how, their name has actually driven people to them in a way. Why? It's like, hey, a lot of people don't know that Christians drink. And we don't care what some other Christians really have to say about our relationships, because our relationships are for us. Drunk Ex-Pastors is really cool. If you want to check out their podcast, I was really impressed. I was listening to a podcast on them today. I think it's podcast 36, one of their newest ones, about sex and relationships. And they were kind of discussing the whole fact that the Catholic Church is the only church right now that's still promoting not using condoms and not using any contraception at all. But what I didn't realize was that, what I didn't correlate was the fact that up until 1930, during the sexual revolution, at that time, the entire society was completely devoid of sexual freedom and was only allowed to do what the Catholic Church and other churches said, which was, do not use contraception. And I can't imagine a person growing up in that type of society. And it makes a lot of sense about why a lot of people moved to New York and were very flighty in a way to move out of those cities and towns that really repressed them. That's something that needs to actually be talked about, because I don't know if I've ever read a book on it or even heard anybody talk about that. But the sexual repression of that era is just insanity. But the Drunk Ex-Pastors were kind of talking about it, and I really appreciated them. They're more dogmatic, and they kind of go through different types of subjects and just kind of tackle it head on while having a couple of beers or a couple of shots of Smirnoff or Zima. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday. I'm about to have some awesome coffee. And please subscribe. I don't get paid for this. I'm doing this in my car right now because it's really loud in my house and anywhere else. So definitely subscribe to us. Definitely check us out. My handle on Twitter is still @PausChristian. You can check us out also on our Facebook page. You search Sex Positive Christians, still on there. I haven't changed it to Sex Positive Podcast yet on there. We have a Google Plus page, and please check us out on our YouTube or SoundCloud. If you want us to be on iTunes, I can set up a PayPal, and you guys can pay for that. But you guys got to pay for that because I have to go through like a distribution platform and all that. But in any case, you can check us out on YouTube or on SoundCloud. Please enjoy your weekends and have a sex-positive weekend. And you know what? Enjoy love no matter where you find it.